Here it is. This box contains what I'm told to be my order of Haribo candy. So why don't we get out the knife, cut open this box, and see what kind of Haribo candy arrived and what accessories came with the Haribo candy from Prusa himself. I'm Joel. This is 3D Printing Nerd. Who are we kidding? This isn't Haribo candy. This isn't a giant box of candy. This is the Prusa i3 Mark III 3D printer, fully assembled, ready for me to take out of the box, test its features, print some things, and tell you all about. So I think I'm gonna get out the knife here, and we're gonna make some cuts, and we're gonna get the black plastic off the box. This is fantastic. I don't know if you can see it right here, but rather than order a bunch of Mark III boxes, they just reused what they had to get these out as soon as possible. So it's got a nice Mark III sticker on it right there on the box. But you don't care about stickers. Well, at least those. You care about what's in this box. Let's get into it. If someone knows why everything from the Czech Republic, or at least from Josef Prusa, comes wrapped in black plastic, please leave a comment down below. I'm very curious. First cut is the deepest. We're opening a flap. We're opening this flap, this flap, this flap. Oh, look at that. There's some, what looks like build plates. That could be a shirt. That is a printer part. Let's get this stuff out of the box. All right, well, the first thing is an XL, that's me. Look at that. Everyone is a maker, only I am a printer, Prusa. And on the back, Josef Prusa himself. Well, a vectorized Prusa himself, but one, two, I count. I mean, there's like 4 colors there. You could print that out on a Prusa multi-material unit, I bet. Put it right here for now. Inside, oh, this is the Prusa handbook, and my goodness, Josef will fly over here from the Czech Republic and slap me across the face if I don't reference this when needed, so this will be kept handy right here. Congratulations on getting the brand new original Prusa i3 Mark III. We would like to blah blah, pages to visit, live chat button, email support, and on the back is a checklist dated 12/13/2017 with serial number 000071. Oh, and here's the cool little checklist of everything that they do with the hot end and the heat bed temperature graph. Fantastic. Within the first bit of protective wrapping is, this looks like to be a spring steel sheet that I could add my own build plate stuff too. Next, door number 2. Ooh, this looks to be covered in, I would guess, PEI. It does say original Josef Prusa i3 Mark III by Josef Prusa. Okay, PEI and a flex plate, that's cool. And last, and certainly not least, is this one. And it looks like it's another PEI heat bed. Makes fun noises too. This styrofoam goes over there. I love how easy this is. Okay, first let's get the boxes out. I believe that to be filament. This is just a spacer. This is probably filament or accessories. Spacer. There it is. That's a Mark III right there. That's it. We're done. Thanks for watching. No, I'm just kidding. Let's get this taken apart. At least all the zip ties. Let's get stuff out of the boxes. Let's take a look at these heat build plates. Let's reconfigure the camera. Give me just a second. We've moved the cameras a bit, and we've got a printer here. We got boxes here. Let's see what's inside. I know that, I know this is filament. This is filament, so we can set that aside. And these are the flex steel build plates. This one, what does this one have on it? Maybe this is PEI? It's coated with PEI. I don't know, you can take a look right there. And then this is the one right there. So they kind of look like that. Look like that right there. Well, they are removable, flexible build plates. I can set them aside because there's one on the printer. And then in these boxes, let's see what's in this box first. This box contains some packing materials and oh, look at that. Look at that. I got dinos. I got dinos. Fantastic. Power cord, a new spool holder. So when I reviewed the Mark II, I remember talking about the spool holder and how much it just didn't work. I called it a deficiency in the printer. I believe Joseph's brother even criticized me over that. I don't think he ever forgot that. But now look at this. There is, let's see if I can get it on there. Now there is a spool holder on the printer, a really good one. Oh, that's a good spool holder right there. They do include the old one just in case. There are some tools in the bag, in the box. Here is a USB cable for updating things. This is a print remover, a glue stick because I was running out, and a little care package of an SD card, a little nozzle cleaner, and some alcohol prep pads. So this box let's keep a clean workspace. Let's put things back in the box. Except that. This box, yes, I am quite excited about this box. This is Prusa mint. So this is Prusa filament. You can actually see it's wrapped in this silvery, wonderful cover, airtight. Oh, the seal is really good. Prusa mint, Galaxy Black, sample, winky smiley face, winky smiley face. Let's take a look and see what this Prusa mint filament. Oh, that's just cool. Ooh, Galaxy, what was it? Galaxy Black. Let's see if I can show you on this camera here. Zoom in. Yeah, Galaxy Black Prusa mint. This is just a sample, but from Joe himself, this is one of the very first rolls of Prusa mint to leave the factory. I'm really excited to try printing with this. Thank you very much, Joe. I really appreciate the opportunity to print with some really awesome filament on an awesome spool holder. So a funny thing happened. Let me show you this spool holder. Well, I liked it. When I put it on, I thought I saw something, and sure enough, there was a tiny crack. There we go. There was a tiny little crack right there. And what had happened was, as I brought it down, this part snapped off. So I noticed this after the cameras are off, and then I applied some glue, thinking that, well, that would help, and it did. It fixed it up just right. But then the glue dribbled all the way down my finger. So I had glued myself to myself. You know, when you use super glue and your fingernail sticks to you, yeah. Anyway, so now it slides on great. It's sturdy. It did break when I installed it, but a little bit of super glue fixed it. I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm just letting you know what happened. Before I get started, because this was sent to me in mid-December and it's now the first of the year, there's been some firmware updates. There's currently, as of time of filming, 3.1.1 beta. It's on the driver's page. I've already downloaded it. What I'm going to do is install the new firmware to this machine before I begin any sort of calibration process, because I want to be up to date and I want to use it and test it as if you had just bought it yourself. So I just wanted you to know the testing and the usage of this machine will be on current firmware. Well, you saw that I upgraded the firmware. It's now running the beta 3.1.1 version of the firmware, and I imagine in a couple weeks, as of the filming of this video, there'll be a final version out. First impressions right out of the box. I got this giant outlet strip that I plugged it into. It's got an on-off switch right there, and I will use that to test the power panic. There's no print on the print bed. I'm not used to that. I'm used to an example print. The print bed itself is fantastically dirty. I mean, it's just dusty from shipping and stuff. So I'm going to remove that and I will clean it off with the alcohol pad, and then we will hopefully get to starting calibration on this machine. All right, what are some of the first things I noticed about this machine? It's similar in looks. It looks like the machine that I saw at the New York Maker Faire, and it looks like the Mark II and the Mark IIs machines. It's got the same sturdy frame. It's got these lead screws here and these support bars here. Here's the hot end and the extruder. It looks like the duct for the airflow is a little bit different for going around the nozzle. It's interesting seeing a printer without an X end stop or a Y end stop. I'm not used to seeing that. I know that they were talking about using, I think it's the resistance or the voltage change on the steppers in order to sense when it's at a spot, and there are no end stops, so they're gonna have to do that. A little foot came off. I'll put these back in. All right, I just figured out two things. One, I don't believe we need to run any sort of calibration because it's a fully assembled unit, fully tested. I think everything's good, so I don't think we need to calibrate anything. Duh. The second thing, there's no knob. I've got no knob, and I checked the box of things, and I don't believe the knob is hidden within the gummy dinos. Maybe it's on the SD card. I don't know, but sure as heck fire right now, there is no knob on this printer. Wait. Sean, don't let them get away without finding this out. Look, it's the knob. This is the knob. Oh, and it goes right there. But look, it doesn't click on. It's a loose fit. So that's why it fell off during shipping and was found in the box underneath one of the bottom cardboard flaps. I was just talking with Josef Prusa, and I told him I just filmed. He was missing a knob. His words back to me were, "It must be in the box." And I checked the box, but I didn't want to say it's not in the box just in case. So I checked the box again. It was in the box. The knob was in the box. It was underneath one of the bottom cardboard flaps. So however it was shipped, it jiggled around and the knob found the path of least resistance and nestled comfortably underneath the cardboard flap. That's where it is. I was just cleaning up. I was just doing stuff. And there you go. That's a knob. The printer, the i3 Mark III is not missing the knob. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Well, here I am. The Prusa machine's right here, and in order for me to use the machine, I need to see the screen. But in order for you to see the screen, it needs to be facing this way. So I'm on the other side of my table. And I'm gonna try to print something. I'm gonna get this old filament out. I'm gonna put it in the new Prusament, and then be good to go. There it goes. Cool. Card inserted. What's inside? Let's see what's on this card. Is there a knob? Stealth hand, a cube, PLA Prusa, Adelinda, all sorts of wonderful things. No knob. Let's get this filament out. Let's get the Prusament in, and then let's print. So if I remember right, I believe we need to preheat PLA. The printer is fantastically quiet, and that little fan right there, that's a Noctua fan, which is quiet as well. And talking with Puget Systems, I learned that the Noctua fans still have to move the same volume of air, but they can regulate their RPMs better, and the baffling for the air is better, and so they're quieter. At least that's what I was told. Like the fan's on right now. The fan is literally on. It came on, and I didn't even notice. It's past 180C, so I believe I can unload filament. Come on. Oh, I see. Okay, well, there we go. So it unloads it fast and then slow and then fast again. So there's our filament right there. Whew. Now we can take out the Prusament. I'm kind of excited to try this out. I've got some snips here. I'm just gonna cut it like at an angle right there. All right, there is a menu selection that does say auto load filament. Auto loading filament is active. Just press the knob and insert the filament. Here we go. A little beep is what it let me know that it sensed the filament and it's now loading the filament. And the bed is already up to 60C. This is a 24-volt bed, and ooh, it is nice and toasty. And there's some filament coming out right there. There it is. White was the test filament before, and so that's why it looks whitish. But we're starting to see some gray, which is the Prusa filament mixing with the white. Filament extruding and with the correct color. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. Well, let's print a whistle. I know that's a quick print. Here we go, print from SD. I'm gonna go to whistle. Here we go. It's so crazy. And it's so quiet compared to the Mark II and the Mark IIs. Bed leveling failed, sensor didn't trigger, debris on nozzle, wait for reset. Okay, there is no debris on the nozzle. Let me go ahead and hit reset. Print from SD, and we'll go all the way down to the whistle. And we'll try that again. Bed's still at 60. The nozzle went down to about 200 degrees C on the reset because it wasn't actively being heated. It'll be back up to 215 in just a moment, and we'll try that whistle one more time. Bed leveling failed, sensor didn't trigger. Debris on the nozzle, waiting for reset. Well, let's take a look. There is no debris on the nozzle. Let's see, the plate is on correct. At this point, well, maybe we need to flip it over. Maybe that's the key. It'll heat up, and we'll try a third time. And if not a third time, then maybe we'll run through calibration. Just gotta heat it up. I love that it's on, and I don't hear the fan. Barely hear the fan, barely, but I'm like a foot away. That didn't do it. Okay, well, there's no debris on the nozzle, and it's not sensing the bed right there. So I guess we're gonna have to go through calibration. Just a sec. Thinking that maybe the x-axis wasn't level, I'm calibrating Z right now. Z is gonna raise up the x-axis all the way to the ends. I think it'll click a little bit, but it'll guarantee that it is level with everything. Okay, so it looked like one of the sides wasn't exactly even, which means we can give it a go. Maybe that fixed it, and we didn't have to go through full calibration. So it's gonna measure the heights there. Let's see if it gets it. This is the one where it failed. That was it.
First try.
So rather than going through a full calibration, what we did was troubleshoot and decide that Z needed to be calibrated, and the x-axis wasn't exactly level, and it needs to be level across the bed. And it needs to be at the same height on each of these motors. So when it raises it to the top, that's how it figures it out. All right, that was it. Well, now it found all 9 points. I believe it's time for us to try the whistle one more time. And the bed dropped down to 45, the nozzle to 113, but it heats up pretty quick, so just a moment and it'll start. I do hear a slight clicking from the power supply as it's applying heat to the bed. It's not a loud click, it's just a slight click, and I'll look into that. All right, here's the spot it didn't know about. And we're past that spot. This is great. So it's gonna do the rest of the calibration points for the Z-axis, and then it should start printing. We're getting a nice bead of filament right there. So the whistle print should be good. Now that it's printing, it's a great time to test out some of the new features of the Mark III, including filament runout detection, power panic or power loss recovery, and the ability to sense when the head has crashed into something. Well, I've got this giant outlet strip here, and oh my gosh, the power died. What happened? Oh, it just blipped. Okay, oh, someone stepped on the breaker. Okay, let's turn it back on. Let's see what happens on the screen. The screen says recovering print. Okay, temperature's dropped a little bit, so it's heating. This is kind of exciting. I'm not gonna lie. Of course, an overnight power loss, that would be the real test, but for right now, you know, we'll do this. Okay, it should start printing any moment. Here we go. Okay, cool. The way this is behaving, it makes me think that it has linear advance enabled, the way it's able to speed through some things. All right, what if I got too close and I just, oh, what happened? Okay, it detected that, let's see, nothing on the screen, but it did detect that something happened, okay? And it's just back at it. So it detected that the head crashed. It'd be really interesting to test that on a large model. What happens if, for some reason, I mean, you could run out of filament, but what happens if you let your kids play with scissors and they're just doing this, they're doing that, and then all of a sudden, oh no, the filament. Let's see if it recovers. Ha ha! All right, it should spit it out. Please press the knob to unload filament. Okay. Okay, now it's slowly backing it out. Slowly. Oh, there we go. Let's see. There's the filament. I can set it aside. And now it says, repeat unloading filament. Yes, no. No. Insert filament and press the knob. Okay, so I'm inserting the filament. Oh, I didn't even need to press the knob. It detected it. It's loading the filament. It does say loading filament. I'm like Sigourney Weaver in Galaxy Quest. I just repeat what the computer says. The computer says, please wait.
You know, that is really getting annoying.
Look, I have one job on this lousy ship. It's stupid, but I'm gonna do it, okay?
It's spitting out a little bit of filament right here. Changed correctly. You can select yes, or filament not loaded, or color not correct. So I'm gonna hit yes. Hey, get back here. Oh. Get back here. All right, so the little bit of filament. Let's see if I can get. Aha. Aha. So the little bit of filament that it did spit out as it was loading the filament from when I cut it, it kept it there. So I guess it would be good to have some tweezers on hand, and once you put the new filament in, once it spits out the priming filament, to just kind of grab it with the tweezers. All right, well, we've tested power panic. We've tested crash detection. We've tested the filament sensor. So now let's just test and see if it gets through the print without me bothering it so much. And when we're done, we should have a whistle, a Josef Prusa whistle. That's the important part. All right, see you when it's done. Well, hello there and welcome back. It looks like it's almost done. The printer right now is doing the bridging across the top of the whistle. It looks like it's done a fantastic job. Hopefully that time-lapse worked for you. I'll figure out a way to mount the GoPro on the actual print bed itself. I think that would make for a better time-lapse. But remember, we got to this point not having to read the manual because it was a fully assembled and calibrated unit. However, in shipping, that's what I bet happened. The shipping movement shook it around and caused the x-axis to not be level among the two z-axis motors. Oh, we're so close. Oh, and my GoPro just turned off, so there we go. It's rating the whistle at 20 minutes, a 20-minute print, but I think on the Mark II, it was like a 30-minute print, 35. So that definitely leads me to believe that they have linear advance enabled on the Mark III. These are some good layers right here. I do hear a slight clicking, just a very, very slight clicking coming from the power supply unit. And it's done. And rather than having to use one of these to get it off the build plate, we might be able to get it off by flexing it. So when you have a flexible build surface, flexing helps to remove it. But if the part is small, or if it's very short and flat, then flexing doesn't always help remove the piece, just because you can't get enough flex on the plastic. So it's still warm, but ooh. It worked. Oh man, it's good filament, Joe. Well, where does this leave us with the Prusa i3 Mark III 3D printer, and specifically this one, the fully assembled one, shipped to me by Josef Prusa and his team? Leaves us in a good spot. And by that, I mean that we have a very successful print. I think it looks good. It looks like there's a tiny, tiny little inconsistency where we did the, I don't know if this was the power panic or the filament runout detection or crash detection, but there's no shift in layers. It just looks like there's a little bit of extra filament. It doesn't detract from the part. It is something, and let's be honest, a little imperfection is better than a failed print, and that's what all those features are there for. The removable bed works great in the steel flexes. Crash detection worked in our test. Filament detection and runout detection worked in our test. And power panic worked thanks to this giant outlet strip that I have. So initial testing using the latest firmware as of filming this worked great on this machine. We did have a little problem at the beginning with it not detecting, but we fixed that by calibrating the Z-axis. So I think we're good to go, and this is set to start printing all the things. If you would like yourself a Prusa i3 Mark III 3D printer, you can go to 3d.pn/Prusa. That is a special link given to me by Josef Prusa himself. And if you were to buy a Prusa through that link, I get a few Scooby snacks, and Josef has said he will buy me a rum and coke. I just have to go to Prague in order to redeem it. No, but seriously, it's an affiliate link for Prusa Research. If you do decide to buy a Prusa 3D printer, I'd love for it to use that link, because then it supports me and the channel and what I'm trying to do here. But beyond that, leave a comment if you find that this is neat, or if you have questions, or if you have specific models you'd love to see me print. Beyond that, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell to be notified of when really cool stuff is uploaded to the channel. And a big thanks for everybody that supports me in all sorts of different ways, and especially those who let the ads play. Finally, don't forget to hug each other more, because I love you guys. As always, high five. Whoosh. Oh, hey, while it's heating up, I'm gonna be a monster and oh, come on, you got this. Oh. That felt good.